What is the name of your office?
I want to talk to you a bit about CAPS, Counseling, Alcohol and Other Drug Assistance Program, and Psychiatric Services. There's a bit more information that you need to know here because each one has its own set of information.
What services do you provide to students and staff?
CAPS provides the mental health care to our students. We do not provide clinical services to staff or faculty. However, we do provide consultation to staff or faculty who may be concerned about a student. For students, we provide care under counseling, our ADAP program, and psychiatric services. I'm going to start with counseling. Counseling is provided by PhD-level psychologists, master's-level social workers, and individuals who are completing their postdoctoral fieldwork. Students can make appointments by calling 848-932-7884. When you call, you will go through a brief screening. It takes a few minutes, but we ask everybody the same questions to make sure that somebody is not experiencing a crisis at that moment. After we do the screening, you'll receive a follow-up triage call, and this is a bit longer. It takes about 20 minutes, and you'll get this call within 24 to 48 hours of the initial phone call that you make to CAPS. Regardless of why you're calling for an appointment, everybody does go through this process. Once you go through this process, you'll have your initial appointment set up with the clinician. CAPS also offers to students seeking counseling, group counseling. And this experience has been a really positive one for many students. And we have over 22 different groups that are offered every single semester. Everything from grief to adult children of alcoholics, people with social anxiety, depression, etc. And these groups provide a really good amount of skills that students can use to help manage the issue that they're dealing with. And they get to do it with their peers, so they know that they're not the only one experiencing this issue. Most students who do come into CAPS for an appointment, especially if they're looking for counseling, are not necessarily going to leave with a diagnosis of a chronic mental illness. Most students are coming in to deal with short-term issues, whether it be relationships, finances, families, any number of things. Your clinician will work with you to develop an individualized treatment plan. When it comes to ADAP, our Alcohol and Drug Assistance Program, it is there to assist students who are struggling with their own use and abuse of alcohol and other drugs, or who might be suffering from somebody close to them using and misusing alcohol and other drugs. They offer one-on-one counseling as well as groups. ADAP can also guide you towards some of the external services that are available to you, such as 12-step programs like AA and Narcotics Anonymous that do meet on campus on a regular basis. ADAP is also responsible for something that we are all very proud of, and that's our recovery housing program. Students who are already in recovery from alcohol and other drug addiction and who want to maintain their sobriety but still have that very traditional residential life experience can apply for and live in recovery housing. There, they receive additional services through one of the alcohol and drug counselors in ADAP. They have extracurricular activities and special programming, etc., to ensure their success while they are here at Rutgers. ADAP can also assist people if they're interested in quitting smoking. And then finally, we have our Psychiatric Services program. This is for students who are using medication to manage a chronic mental health issue, whether that issue is depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, etc. A student can make a monthly appointment with a psychiatrist, make sure medications are still working the way they are supposed to work, make any adjustments necessary, and then receive their prescription for their next refill on their medication, which they could fill at the pharmacy.
What is the best way to contact someone at your office?
The best way to get in touch with somebody at CAPS is calling 848-932-7884. If this is an emergency and it's business hours, you can still call that number. If it is an emergency and it's after business hours, depending on the nature of the emergency, you could either contact 911 if it is really an urgent situation, or you can contact Acute Psychiatric Services, which is part of UMD&J Rutgers University, and they can assist you as well.
Do you offer program initiatives to students and staff? If so, what are they?
It really depends on what you're looking for. CAPS actually has a really amazing mindful meditation series that happens every semester throughout the semester, and it's offered on all the campuses on different days of the week. They also offer some educational resources that you can access yourself at the CAPS site, which is rhscaps.rutgers.edu. If you're interested in having a CAPS staff member come and speak to you or your floor for programming, that contact can be made by calling 848-932-7884, or, believe it or not, by contacting me in Hope at 848-932-1965, and I will assist you in connecting with a CAPS clinician to see how we could fill that need. That need also might be able to be filled through one of our peer education programs, which I'm going to talk about in a few moments.
How can students meet with a staff member at your office?
If you need to meet with somebody from CAPS, I'm going to assume this is on a consultation basis, so perhaps you have a concern about one of your residents. You can call 848-932-7884 and let them know that you have a significant concern about one of your residents, and then you will be able to speak to one of the clinicians. There is a clinician on call every day at CAPS, so if this is a relatively urgent situation and you really have a serious concern about somebody, do call the 848-932-7884 number and let the person who answers the phone know that you're calling for a consultation and that it might be urgent in nature, and they will put you in contact with the on-call clinician as soon as possible.
Are there any changes that students should be aware of?
Right now, CAPS is just the way you remembered it from last year. We still have our 2 locations, the main location being 17 Senior Street and the second location being 61 Nickel on the Cook Douglas campus.